like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who could bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GGB Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have yourself to blame, y'all. Ticket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop until you get your mouth off LBBC. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yup, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
Oh, yeah. Like, share, subscribe. And shout out to Henry for the $150 donation in the Cash App just now. He said, Ticket, you the best. Boy, I'm King Kong of this thing, boy. I'm the King Kong of this thing. Salute to you, Henry, for that $150 donation. I'm the King Kong of this thing. King Kong ain't got issue on me. I told you. You ride with me, period, because I know what I'm talking about. I read the paperwork, man. I put myself deep in this thing, man, to do my studying, to understand what's going on both sides. I ain't just coming on here yickety-yak. You hear that thing, it goes clickety-clack. Boom. Here comes the boom. I'm the King Kong of this thing. And I told y'all this. Press 1 if y'all can hear me. Diddy out here wasting his money. He throwing all his money away on all these lawyers and stuff like that. They finna throw his ass under the jail, nigga. Didn't I tell y'all this? Everybody here talking about his case weak. What weak case? Nah, y'all messing up. Y'all analysis is getting weak because y'all ain't understanding. They not playing with this man. They denied this man $350 million bails. The judge said, every judge said, based on the evidence. People keep talking about, oh, I don't know. Y'all listening to Diddy's lawyers. Liars. Liars, pants on fires. But when you get hit with reality, and the man upstairs say, nah, you gonna sit down on this one, son. You got to sit down. You got to sit down. Shut up talking about something. Are you damn right I'm happy? Did you see? Did you open the contract? Did you turn to page 3? Read that right there. You damn right I'm happy. Look at page 3. Pull out your contract. Turn to page 3. It's right there. Read that right there. I yellowed out there in yellow. Read that right there. Now, Mo better, get Mo worse, and gets to stepping up out my channel for shucking and jabbing. Get your ass out of here. In here looking like a low-budget Diana Ross. Get your ass out of here. You got to go. Now, like I said, breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, like I told y'all, and I'm going to give y'all the whole court rundown what happened. It's over with. Diddy got hit with a whole bunch of new evidence, and Diddy tried to say, oh, man, they hit me with all this new evidence. They got to throw it out of court, man. They hit me with new evidence, man. They hit me with new evidence, man. It's not fair, man. The government did it. They played by the rule book. They did exactly what they did in the Harvey Weinstein and other cases. They've shown evidence that this has happened before in other cases. I told y'all this. Read the paperwork. Don't listen to what these people just tell y'all on YouTube. Read the paperwork, man. That's why I'm King Kong, nigga. Didn't I tell y'all that? Talking about, hey, man, they're going to go do this, man. Nigga, know your role and shut your mouth. Period. Know your role and shut. When you get hit with the rock bottom, that's it. Sean Combs was brought in to the court by U.S. Marshals. He hugged his lawyer, and this fool blew a kiss at the gallery. Diddy hugged his lawyer, then blew a kiss at the gallery. Proceeding then came as Judge Submaranian came into the courtroom. He says, I'm going to go through the items, then both sides will have an opportunity to react. I'm previewing for you. I'll want to hear about the motion to exclude the two experts. The government then said two victims were 2003. The charge runs from 2004. The judge then said, I am denying the request for adjournment. He came right out the flat and said, I'm denying. I am denying the request for adjournment. The defense under seal is asking for 2 months, not 2 weeks. The issue about victim 4, now remember, let's talk about that first before I go on. The reason why the judge is denying because he knows what's going on with Diddy. He sees through it. This nigga going to jail forever, nigga. Forever, ever, forever, ever, nigga. Play with me. What's wrong with y'all, man? Y'all niggas scared to stand on business. Get these type of creeps out of here. All of them. I don't care what you look like. You gotta go. When God say it's a wrap, it's a wrap. You got to go. The hell wrong with you? Diddy's lawyers was in there pushing the last court case as if they wanted a 2-week delay. The judge probably would have gave him a 2-week delay. But the judge seen what was up with Diddy's lawyers. Because under secrecy, these fools filed for a 2-month delay. Not gonna happen. Because now you got all the evidence. That's why Diddy hired that new lawyer, all this other stuff, thinking he's gonna hire more lawyers. Nope. Caught you in your tracks. Sit your ass down. Didn't I tell y'all this? Didn't I tell y'all? And y'all get mad at me for coming here standing on business telling the truth. These are facts that I'm telling y'all. I'm King Kong of this thing, boy. Straight like that. The judge instantly came in and denied his motion. Instantly. Because the judge said, Diddy was over here crying, said, oh, all this evidence they've hit us with, man. This is unfair. We don't have no time. The government said, listen, man, we've already sent this dude all this evidence and stuff like this that we had. He's already had this stuff, man. And any new evidence we got, we send him straight up, bro. We follow the rules. All you got to do is look to other cases. We follow the rules. And the judge says, I agree. This is Diddy's judge. Remember, Diddy appealed up to this judge. Just the same judge Diddy appealed up to. See, but they ain't going to tell y'all that. Oh, man, they try to tear down the black man. So why did the black lawyer leave? There ain't nobody answer that question yet. Ain't nobody answer why the black lawyer left. Sit down, shut the hell up, and watch me shine. And I told y'all in the video this morning, they're going to get J-Lo asked too to testify or to give statements to them. They're going to go run down and ask J-Lo what's going on. Because they don't went back and covered all. But we'll talk about that again right now in just a second. I take you there. Baby, Cece, I take you there. Now, back to what I was saying, right? And salute to Rod. I appreciate you. With the $50 donation in the Cash App, man. He said keep schooling these fools. Hey, man, listen, bro. Class in session, my nigga. Class in session. Oh, yeah, if y'all want to donate, Cash App, PayPal link is pinned at the top of the chat. Let me know what y'all think. Show me love. Show me love. Now, let's get back into this. As I'm kicking these dudes' draws up their ass. You understand what I'm saying? With knowledge and understanding. Let's get back to it. So, again, Diddy's little greasy little team, what they did was they tried to pull up in the last court case earlier this week and tried to say, oh, well, we want 2-week delay. Then they went under secret file and asked for 2 months. Judge said, hell no. What type of game y'all trying to play? Because the government said in the writing, and I told y'all, it was 25 different filings in the last 48 hours. So the judge basically was like, hold on, y'all asked for one thing in court, but then you under file seal, you asked for 2 months. Nah, I'm denying that. Because the government said, look, man, if you get this guy 2 months, man, he gonna know our whole strategy. We want to peel back evidence we've given him, and we timely gave him this evidence. That's what they said. That's what they said. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. My bad, y'all. The daggone pit bull got loose, man. Boy, I had to go get that thing quick. That pit bull got loose. Ain't no way. Man, I gotta refix that whole fence. That pit bull got loose. Ain't no way. Once I seen that pit bull jump out that cage, I said, ain't no way. Boy, so we good now. He back locked in. He locked up. So, as I was saying to y'all, I had to go do that fast too, y'all. I was sitting here watching. I was sitting here watching in the camera. I said, what? I said, man, this fool just jumped out this house, out this cage. Oh, man, he was going crazy. Boy, I ran out that junk, got him quick. You dig? And not because my whole crib and stuff is all all got a it's all secluded, but he gonna tear everything up outside. Man, he gonna tear everything up outside. And I don't feel like having to fix everything again, digging holes all in the yard, all that stuff. I ain't got time for all that. But as I was telling you guys, it's a wrap. So he tried to ask for 2 weeks in the court, but then secretly asked the judge for 2 months. Judge like, hell no. And once the government found out what he was doing, the government told the court in the paperwork, it was like, hey, look, if you guys are gonna let this guy play this type of game and do this, nah, we're gonna peel back all that evidence we gave him because he knows what he's doing. He's trying to figure out our strategy and shake some out. So I told you guys, everybody who's talking about the government don't have enough, man, y'all niggas don't know nothing. The government know who they dealing with. They watched P. Diddy over his lifetime. The government have seen how P. Diddy beat cases. So the government is playing to the edge of all the rules to make sure, because I'm gonna tell you, think about this. This is what you call mind elevation and thinking more and better than everybody else, which is how I do. The government studied P. Diddy. They know P. Diddy has a lot of money, a strong will, and can make a lot of things happen. They've looked at the government's past, right? They've looked at the government's past. I want y'all to think, they looked at Diddy's past, right? The government has looked at Diddy's past. What did the government see? The government saw his past cases, how he beat him, how he got off, how he lowered the charges, settled down. So they studied this. Then they talked to all these witnesses, told them different things about how maybe they were coerced or all these other things. So they took all of his prior incidents, like the shooting in the New York situation, which I told y'all, they're going to bring that back up. And the dude who said that Diddy tried to bribe him, the driver, and give him the gun and tried to pay him $50,000 and give him a diamond ring. They're going to bring him up to testify. They're probably going to interview J-Lo. Did that video this morning. All y'all gotta do is look on my channel this morning. A lot of y'all it was too early for y'all. Y'all didn't see that video where they talking about pulling up J-Lo now. Then you had the situation with Steve Stout where he beat Steve Stout over the head with the bottle, him and the security guards. This shows a pattern. They're bringing all of this up. Diddy's lawyers want to throw all that evidence and this out, which is what nobody's talking about. That's the funny part. See how the media hide all this stuff they want to hide from y'all? It show y'all these celebrities run the media. They control the mainstream media, and they have the media run what they want to run. They not talking about that in the paperwork right there. What I put in yellow, they're not talking about that. That's right there in the paperwork. This is Diddy's lawyers that wrote that. That's right. The government is bringing in minors to testify against Diddy with evidence. That's right. That's right. This is Diddy lawyers wanting to throw all this evidence out. And Diddy's lawyers said, hey man, if they tell these stories, they saying that Diddy tells these stories, the jury will hate Diddy if they're able to present their evidence and tell these stories. Yeah, it's right there in the filings. Diddy's lawyers writing this stuff, but these people ain't reading paperwork. You really have to read paperwork and filings. This is why I show y'all. It's always study to show thyself approved. Study to show thyself approved. All the paperwork is right here. It's all in the paperwork. Listen, people say, oh, they must not have enough evidence. Are you out your damn mind? Read that second paragraph right there. And it's right above the second black line in the second paragraph. Right above the second blacked out line. It shows you right there they have 236 media files, photographs, and videos that were produced as of March the 24th, 2025. 22 of them were photographs of, and they blacked it out. This is off one victim. One victim's evidence. And these people telling y'all, hey man, they ain't got nothing, man. No, they knew what they was doing. They studied Diddy, they studied his style. So they said, this is how gonna be our strategy. We're not gonna give him everything early because they felt like he gonna witness tamper. So what they did was they played the long game. You thought they didn't have nothing. No, they dog walked your ass. 40 cal hit your leg, go and walk it out. That's what they did. They dog walked this dude. So they waited all the way up until the last possible moment. Boom, and hit him with all the big shit. Now he's crying, saying, "Oh, this evidence should not be able to be presented. We need a delay." Hiring all these lawyers and shit like that, wasting his money. Read, that's Diddy's lawyers right there. Last line. Read the last paragraph right there. Read that paragraph. Diddy's lawyers out here crying and shit before this court case. Judge walked in there, immediately denied. So the judge says, I am denying the request for an adjournment. The defense, under seal, is asking for 2 months, not 2 weeks. The issue about victim number 4 is not sufficient for 2 months adjournment. The new conduct isn't really new, the U.S. points out. It's over with. It's over with. He said the new conduct, they show all this conduct. So you know what that means to tell me? The judge, now look at that right there. I told y'all. Look at that right there. You know what that tells me? When the judge says this isn't really new, what does he mean? Does he mean that that's not really new to him? And your yellow part? So everybody was saying, we all know one of the victims is Cassie. But who are the other 2 victims? The first victims, because now it's 7 victims that's testifying against Diddy. Now it's 7. But who are the first 2 victims? One of them was Cassie. But who were the other 2? Excuse me, who were the first 3 victims? One of them was Cassie, but who was the other 2? Was one of the other 2 M-I-N-O? Huh? Because listen to what the judge says here. The judge says, he says, I am denying the request for adjournment. The defense under seal, that's Diddy's team, under seal is asking for 2 months, not 2 weeks. The issue about victim number 4 is not sufficient for 2 months adjournment. The new conduct isn't really new, the U.S. points out. The judge goes on to say that Diddy has now had 4 firms representing him. It's over with. I told y'all, this nigga hiring all these lawyers and shit. It's over with, nigga. Read what the judge just said. This is what the judge said. This is what the judge said. This is what the judge said. He said, Sean Combs now has had 4 firms representing him. The motion for delay is denied. Next, the government is saying the evidence is relevant to the RICO charge. As for victim 5, the U.S. notice explains why victim 5's alleged abuse is probative and not outweighed. On the Nixon and Tucker standards, courts in this district apply Nixon. No fishing expeditions allowed under either standard. The motion to quash the subpoena of victim 1 is granted in part. All prior drafts of the memoir must be disclosed. So he basically granted the motion of the subpoena to quash. So Diddy tried to get a subpoena on victim 1, and the judge basically, the government came out and said, "Nah, we want to quash that. We don't want to be able to, we don't want to." The judge basically agreed with the government. He says, but he says that the all prior drafts of the memoir must be disclosed. But the other things, he quashed. He agreed with the government. Remember, this is the judge Diddy asked for. Smash the like button as y'all come on up, man. To the person who says, "Am I blacking it out?" No, the courts black it out because it's confidential information until the case starts. So, for example, that's to the person that asked me that in the comment section. For example, I don't black any of this stuff out. I give y'all the files as they come. This is Diddy's lawyers writing this. They have to black this out because it's pertinent information to the trial. What does that mean? That means it's people's names who are victims, it's people's information who are victims, and it's salacious allegations that y'all have not heard yet that cannot be heard to the general public. Remember, in these court filings, the judge can hear all of this stuff because he's only the judge. He's not the jury. He's not the one that's going to decide guilt or innocence. He's the judge. He's the one that's going to decide, does this evidence enter court or not? Is this admissible? And really, the judge is basically, in my opinion, the way things are going right now, man, this shit look bad for Diddy, bro. This should look bad for Diddy because I'm telling you guys this, and it's not even just the feds. It's just in general. You have to black out this information because this information cannot be put out to the public. It will tamper the jury pool. If this was let me give you an example. If this information was not blacked out, bro, there'd be no jury that could do this case fairly. If they would all think Diddy's a piece of shit scumbag. There's no way. I'm just being honest with y'all. There's no way. They blacked out the entire paragraph where it says minor victim number 2. They blacked out the entire paragraph. You can't see none of that. With the other adult victims, they showed y'all little pieces and parts of what they said. But with that underage right there, and that's just number 2. Where's number 1 at? Where's the minor victim number 1? That's what y'all need to be asking. Right? So, man, now let's keep going. So I want to explain that to you. So that's the reason why the court system blacks that out, because this case hadn't went to court yet. Now everything that's blacked out right there, when you go to court, if this is admitted in court, you're gonna hear all that. You're gonna hear all that. That's why Diddy's lawyer said in the writing, they said that if these allegations are allowed to be presented along with their evidence in court, he said that the jury gonna find Diddy guilty. I told you guys, he said they're gonna hate Diddy. Diddy's lawyer said that. These niggas in here, you got Bookman and all these dudes in here talking shit. Boy, man, y'all lying, man. Man, nigga, sit down, nigga. His own lawyers is saying, if they present this in court, we're toast. Why you think the black lawyer walked away? That nigga had dignity. He probably seen this shit like, man, ain't no way in hell, bro. She ain't gonna have me up here defending this. Nah. He said, under no circumstances, Anthony Rico said, can I defend this under no circumstances, and walked away. Straight like that. Nigga, no question. That's the black lawyer. This nigga talking about, hey, they trying to turn on the black man. Nigga, your black lawyer left. And you ain't had one since. Let's keep going. So, the judge is being fair. He says that, look, all prior drafts of the memoir must be disclosed, though. He says the memoir drafts must be produced by April the 25th, which I think is fair. Otherwise, the motion to quash is granted, right? It says, as fishing editions prohibited under both the Nixon and Tucker standards, the finances do not need to be shown. Cassie won that. They claim outreach to Mr. Combs about the memoir. Now, the judge goes on and says, the Warner Brothers motion to quash is denied. Now, he denied that. He said there are outtakes from 2 specific witnesses. The defense says they are relevant, like the draft memoir. They are admissible. The reporter's privilege cited by Warner Brothers is overcome. These are significant. These 2 interviewees are likely to testify in the trial. Oh, it's going to get real ugly, y'all. So let me tell y'all what he's saying. The people who was in that documentary, remember the dude? It was a couple people in the documentary. One of them showed evidence in the documentary. He showed actual text in the documentary with one of the other girls that was working with Diddy. He showed the text in the documentary. He showed evidence in his phone. Well, the judge is saying that these two interviewees, two of the people that was in that documentary, are likely to testify in the trial. To the brother who said Puff's innocent, yeah, bro. Hey, bro, in the sky is red. Yeah, you're blocked, dog. Get your ass out of here, nigga. Goodbye. Your name is John Truth. Use a damn lie. Now let's keep going. It says these two interviewees are likely to testify in the trial, so the outtakes are admissible. It says on victim number 4, the defense has asked for all communication, but that is a fishing expedition. The request is denied. So he denied that request from Diddy's team, right? It says rifle shot might be okay. The motion can be renewed. This is a fair judge right here. Then he goes on to say the request for victims 2, 3, and 4 to proceed under. Now, this is big, y'all. The judge has granted the permission for the witnesses to proceed anonymously in court. That is huge. That is huge. The judge has granted the feds, the government, to allow the victims who don't want to be identified because they fear for their life and things like that. He allowing them victims. He said the request for victims 2, 3, and 4. So these are 4 different victims, and I believe one of them. And this is why I think that the judge is doing this. I'm just going to tell y'all straight up. Me personally, I believe one of them's under. I believe it. And I believe that's the reason why the judge is letting it happen. I believe one of them was under. I believe it. What I say under, the same word that's on your screen right now, that's yellowed out. I believe that. And I believe that's why the judge is compiling all together and allowing them to stay anonymous because of the sensitivity of that. Let me say that again. So while we all didn't know this from the beginning, now you're seeing now. Everybody was like, oh, they ain't got no. No, you didn't know that. This was all under seal. Now you're going to find out in court that it was. You're just not going to know who it was. So guess what, y'all? It could be a celebrity. Let me repeat myself again. It could be a celebrity. Imagine this. Imagine if a celebrity was in that situation at that time. And then listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Y'all got to listen to what I'm saying. Imagine if that was a celebrity. Not just Cassie, but a different celebrity that's coming forward and don't want to have their life threatened and all this other stuff, and they're testifying against this dude. Now their identity is not going to be revealed to the world. And they get to testify. So Diddy will see them face to face in court. Diddy will see them face to face in court. But the world will not know. Boy, this thing finna get real ugly. Peep the paperwork now. The judge says, and repeat what I said. Listen to what I said, y'all. The judge says the request for victims 2, 3, and 4 to proceed under these aliases or under anonymity is granted, citing Rainier NXIVM. The defense acknowledges it as to victim 2. The other 2 will also go with aliases. The defense or anonymous. The defense knows their names, and the jury will be told their names too. So Diddy knows who these people are. Lord have mercy. Diddy knows who these people are. That's why his lawyer said, man, if these people testify, we're done. His lawyer said it in the paperwork. Diddy's lawyer said this. And the judge not only has allowed these people to stay under anonymity, that means it could be another celebrity who may have been violated by Diddy when he was younger, or she was, well, let me not say that. Period. And they get to testify and nobody will know. Cassie came out and put her name on it. So now the world will never know unless later down the road, victim 2, victim 3, and victim 4 decide to come out and reveal it was me. It said the defense knows their names and the jury will be told their names too. The judge says now we get to the motion to exclude the testimonies of Dr. Hughes and Barty. He said Dr. Hughes has never spoken with the victims. The government says the jury needs to hear from an expert about coercive control. It's not in their ken. Lord have mercy, man. Lord have mercy, y'all. Lord have mercy, man. So then the judge says, what is the relevance of the copying strategies proposed to expert testimony? Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. The government then says there's some overlap here, but there are additional way of copying, coping, excuse me. Let me repeat that again. My bad, y'all. Let me repeat that again. It says this is relevant to the The judge says, what is the relevance of the coping strategies? Propose expert testimony. The government says there's some overlap here, but there are additional way of coping: self-blame, denial, use of substances such as drugs and alcohol to dull the pain of the sexual experience. Then it goes on. Right? It says, the government says this is relevant to the charges against Diddy of sex trafficking and forced labor. The jury has a right to understand the reasoning behind those coping strategy. The judge says, why is that outside the ken of the average juror? They cite Judge Winter on this. Dr. Hughes has given this testimony in other cases. I don't expect her to tell jurors to give victims leeway on false memories. Rather, victims recall in bits and pieces. The jurors should have the ability to assess fragmentary memories. The judge says, switching gears, then I'll allow the defense to respond. On Dr. Barty, he is saying not of this is based on established literature. It had to be assessed individually. You say Dr. Hughes could not speak to victims and bolster them. The government then says Dr. Barty has no expertise in this type of coercion. How would he would just confuse the jury. So basically, the people that Diddy want to come up, the government's saying he ain't got no expertise in this type of coercion. He gonna confuse the jury. So the judge says defense, he asked Diddy's team. Diddy's female lawyer, Alexandra Shapiro, says what they miss about Dr. Barty, he is rebuttal testimony. I'm shocked they're questioning his qualifications, right? So then it goes on. Right? So she said, I'm shocked they're questioning his qualifications, right? Salute to everybody that's tapped in. Y'all already know what it is, man. Appreciate all y'all, man. Let me see. Let me see. Where we at? Bro, Diddy's in for it, bro. He's in for it, bro. Bro, this is bad, bro. I can just tell you guys, hold on one second, y'all. I can tell y'all guys that this is not going to end right. Hold on. So it says, for you guys who don't know what's going on, let me tell y'all what it is. So it says, let me see. It says, hold on. Wait 1 second, you guys. I want to give y'all the right information, not the wrong information. Let's see. Here we go, right here. I think this is it. Is this right? Yeah. So basically, right? Um, she says the same unit of the U.S. Attorney's Office has in fact retained Dr. Barty in another case in 2024, a sex case. And then, they kind of named the case, I guess, right? They named that case. So then, and they bring up that case. Let me see. Yeah. All right. Man, this is crazy, bro. So let me give y'all what it says on TMZ as well, just so y'all can get the simple breakdown. All right. So it says that Diddy's trial will proceed as scheduled because a judge just ruled on his team's motion to delay the trial for 2 months, and he's not giving them more time. The hearing was held in New York City today after Diddy's team accused prosecutors of turning over evidence too slowly, asking the judge to grant more time so they could comb through all of the discovery. The judge disagreed with Diddy's side, pointing out the rapper has 4 law firms representing him. Let me say it again. The judge disagreed with Diddy's side, pointing out that the rapper has 4 law firms representing him, who should be able to sort through everything to be ready for the case by the scheduled May 5th start date. All right? It says, as you know, Diddy's been locked up in the MDC Brooklyn Notorious Federal Jail, New York, since he was arrested at Manhattan Hotel in September. Now he's facing 5 charges. I already told y'all this, right? Now, it says several alleged victims, most of them anonymous, plan to testify against Diddy when the trial kicks off, including Cassie. While Cassie will use her own name, the judge ruled that victim 3, victim 4 will go by other names, and victim 2 will just be called victim 2. Right? I try to tell y'all this, man. I try to tell y'all. And so now, these things, bro, this is devastating blow for Diddy, bro. Devastating. When I say devastating, bro, so now you got to go to court. They don't hit you with all this evidence. And your lawyers already said, Diddy's lawyers have come to court and said, hey, look, man, if they let this testimony and this evidence in the court, bro, they're going to look at us. They're going to look at Diddy like he's a monster. They're going to, bro, I'm telling y'all this. Diddy's lawyers saying this, not me. I'm not saying this. This is Diddy's lawyer saying this stuff. Period. So for everybody that's coming in here and just running your mouth, I'm just being honest with y'all. Right? So Cassie does have to disclose her prior drafts to her memoir. Right? But other than that, man, bro, this is a major. This is bad, bro. He don't have no, and the judge already said, you got all these lawyers, bro. What are you talking about? You need 2 months. Nah, we're not finna do that. And I told y'all, everybody tell me, oh, the government doesn't have enough to prove they can know the government was smart. The government did their homework on Diddy. The government just didn't come in here like everybody else. They said, listen, the Fed said, we're going to play different. We see how Diddy play. So since he want to play like that, the Feds, what they did was they walked all the way to the edge of the rules. Didn't cross them, but walked all the way to the edge of the rules and stuck it to Diddy. That's exactly what they just did. What do you mean by that, Ticket? What I mean is they used every possible limitation they could in this case to make sure that they could wheel this thing all the way up to the end and let Diddy have as least possible information about those victims and those witnesses possible until they got to the case, so he didn't have any time to allegedly tamper, flip, or anything to any of these witnesses. That's why they did it like that. They had Diddy this whole time. They already had enough. They're still investigating him. Everything else is just cherries on top of the cake that they putting on top of this cake. That's it. Cake been baked, Woden. Cake been baked. Everything else they're doing is just putting on top of this thing. So what I mean, okay, if Diddy wants to come in here, this is what they're doing. If Diddy wants to come in here and say, oh, well, this, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to bring a whole slew of other people. This is what Diddy's lawyers are arguing about, you guys. I'm breaking this down for y'all in layman's terms. So let me give y'all an example. All the victims that Diddy's being charged with, right? All the victims that Diddy's being charged with in the actual federal indictment. If Diddy, the Fed say, you know what, we're gonna have a backup plan too, just in case this fool trying to come in here and pull a stunt and do something wild, we got a backup plan. So what the Feds did was they went and looked at other cases. They said, oh, we're gonna hit him with the Harvey Weinstein shit. What is that? That is when we have a whole slew of other people with their evidence. We present all this in court. People who have the same type of experiences. People who will have stories and evidence that will line up to what we're trying to prove in our case. What do we mean? Witness tampering. What do we mean? Bullying, beatings, using the security and the people around him to, what are you talking about? Let me let Katie Shayla say it again. Because the homegirl explained it and she cooked 3 the hard way. And y'all need to go subscribe to her channel too. But she explained this thing the absolute best. That's why they running down on J-Lo. I told y'all that this morning in the video. Y'all need to go check that other video I put out. I told y'all. Put out that video early this morning. Y'all didn't want to listen to that video. Act like somebody was capping. Well, nobody capping. The Feds going at everything. They don't went and got the dude who was driving Diddy in that police car. I mean, not the police car. And that night where they said that Diddy bribed the dude to take the gun. He testified that in court. And Diddy beat that case. They're going to go get him. And he's going to come in and say, hey, this is how we beat cases before. Or how he beat cases. He bribed me. Then they're going to try to get J-Lo. They're going to try to, they're going to bring in, they're going to bring the situation up with Steve Stout, where he got beat upside the head with the champagne bottle and assaulted by Diddy and his peoples. Where Diddy plead to a lesser charge for that. And then they allegedly paid Steve Stout $500,000 to get to a plea to a lesser charge. They're going to bring, all this shit is going to be brought up to corroborate all of the other charges they have. And then here's the most damning right here. See, this is the one that they're not telling y'all about. Because if you're just looking, you might not see it. But Diddy's lawyers put it out here. That right there. And Diddy's lawyers already have stated in other filings, if they allow these new evidence and witnesses to come forward and testify with that evidence, they're saying that basically there's no way they can defend Diddy in this. That's what Diddy's lawyers are saying. Not the government, not somebody on YouTube. Diddy's lawyers are saying this. They're saying that if these witnesses are allowed and alleged victims are allowed to tell their stories to the court and present that evidence, it's over with. There's nothing they can do. I'm telling y'all this. Diddy's lawyer, that's why Diddy's lawyers put in the writing right here on the last page that they want all this evidence thrown out because they said they wasn't given enough time. And they're trying to say, oh, it's not within the rules. The judge says it is. Look at it right there on your screen. They want it thrown out. This is Diddy's lawyers, law team. Shapiro and them. I'm telling y'all see it right there on your I'm showing you paperwork. That's in the filings. All you gotta do is go look at the filings. It's right there. Diddy's lawyers wrote a write-up. What y'all see right here is a write-up to why they're saying all these new victims and stuff like that should not be able to testify in court with their evidence. They've been given the evidence, Diddy's team. So they know what it is. They're talking about, oh, well, we need more time to record. No, y'all don't. The judge says y'all got 4. This man got 4 lawyers. He got 4 law firms working for him. This dude represented by he got 7 or 8 lawyers working for him. And niggas out here talking about they got a weak case. Nah, y'all niggas need to be thinking. Why did the feds do it like this? Because they know Diddy's style. The feds was not going to be a casualty to Diddy. See, when you know somebody's style and you study them, you know how to attack them. The feds did their homework so they know how to come at Diddy. That's why they slow walked all this stuff. I told y'all this. It's easy. A caveman can do it, nigga. The feds say you will not tamper with our witnesses. You will not flip any of our witnesses, and none of our witnesses will come up gone. So what we're going to do is we're going to slow walk this thing. Then we're going to make sure there's no way the public can know. So we're going to keep them anonymous from the public the entire time. Then we're going to keep them anonymous in the trial to keep them safe during the trial. So We're going to make sure that their names aren't put out there during the trial. The only person who had heart and balls to stand on business was Cassie. She said, I don't care what you do to me. I put my name on this. So you know it's me. That shows you the pain Cassie had in her. That shows you it wasn't just about the money with Cassie. Because Cassie could have took the money, went and shut the hell up, not said another word. She got a whole bunch of money. She could have just went away. She said, nah, you gonna pay in full. I'm gonna take your cheese and I'm gonna take your freedom. These are facts. And now for Cassie, all these other people have been brave to come out and speak. Now the waterfall comes. So when everybody says, oh, why are all these people coming out? Because the feds are continuing to investigate. The feds have already said in their writing, we know about all this other stuff. We just decided not to put that in the case. Read the paperwork. The feds have said this in the paperwork. They said Diddy's team is accusing us of all these things. We've had all this other information. We decided not even to put that in the actual case. So Diddy's team, all these people y'all see, they're trying to talk down on why these people should not be able to testify in court with these. And they've said themselves, if these people are able to testify in court, it is going to absolutely destroy Diddy, because they said that the jury is going to hate Diddy. But then the niggas won't get mad at me for standing on business. For what, nigga? F this nigga. Straight like that. That man ain't got no honor, man. Do you see what I yelled? Do you see what I put out in yellow right there? Read that. Nigga, if that don't make niggas feel a certain way, nigga, I don't know what to do, nigga. I've been telling these people this from day one. And that's the problem. None of us know. None of us know. None of us know. Let me repeat myself again to everybody that's listening to this video. None of us know that if in the original victims, if one of them was a minor or not. We're going to find out during court, though. Because here's the question. Why would they bring this minor victim number 2 in to testify against Diddy with the evidence if they didn't have another one that they're charging them with? This is corroboration. These people right here. That's why Diddy's lawyers are shooting this down. All you gotta do is go to page 1 and read the paperwork. It's right there. See, people can come and make lies and innuendos and all of these other things. They can hide and try to change the subject and talk about other shit. No, we're gonna stay on this, nigga. We're gonna stay on this. This is Diddy's lawyer, his law firm. You can see it right there in the top left-hand corner. Shapiro. That's Diddy's law firm. Read what it says right there. Judge Sumranian, on behalf of Sean Combs, the defense submits this letter in advance of the April 18th conference and in further support of its motion to exclude the government's Rule 413 and 404B evidence. See document 212. At the April 14th conference, the government misled the court as to the timing of its interviews with 4 additional alleged victims, described in its March the 10th and March the 26th, 2025 Enterprise letter agenda. The defense writes to correct the record. Now remember, this is before the judges already don't wipe this shit out today. It says, as the defense noted in its reply brief, it is clear from 3,500 material that the government has known about these alleged victims for months and months. This is what I try to tell y'all. Now listen, think about that. Diddy's law team, his legal team, is accusing the government of playing dirty tactics. The government didn't play dirty, though. The government, they played by the rules. But what they did was they walked all the way up to the lines of the rules. So let me give you an example. What do you mean, Ticket? I'm going to give you a perfect example. What are the lines of the rules? Okay, here's the lines of the rules. If I play basketball and I got 6 fouls and I'm out, the government's playing with 5 fouls. They're still eligible to play the game. They knew they could play the game with 5 fouls. They're just not going to get the 6. So they're not going to foul again. Yeah, you kind of understand what I'm saying? So the government, they said, okay, well, P. Diddy, he may play this game dirty with us. But what we're going to do is we're going to beat him at his own game. And we're going to follow by the rules and beat him at his own game. So the government, they wheel this thing out to y'all. And everybody's saying, oh, this stuff is weak because nobody could read the sealed information. So all of the people in the public thought, oh, this is a weak case. They ain't got no case. You got DJ Vlad and all these fools running around here talking about, hey, this is, I don't see what they're charging them. I don't see. These dudes ain't nothing but go along, get along. But now the truth is that Diddy got denied $50 million bail 3 times. You know why? Because we as a public did not see the personal information and the evidence that was presented at first. The judges did. And that's why each of the judges denied him. The 3 judges denied him bail. And then DJ Vlad goes to them. I heard from somebody in the feds that they said Diddy may get bail. That's the guy that ain't gonna lie. You ain't heard nothing from the feds. You're lying. That's a lie. That's a lie. He said something to that standard. That's a lie. Because Diddy gave up his opportunity for bail already. It's in the court paperwork. So there's no way he can get bail because he gave up his right for bail already after he got denied the 3rd time. Do your homework, man. But see, ain't nobody finna tell these people this. They need to stop capping. Right? So really, Diddy's lawyers, then they go on. They're saying, oh, the government's representations were false. The 3500 material makes clear that, and y'all see it's blacked out at the bottom. And then it says, intentionally chose not to include these individuals in the enterprise letter. So the government says, Diddy's lawyers say, oh, they chose not to include these individuals in the enterprise letter. We're going to go about one of them at a time. And look what they do. These are the people they're saying that. So let me repeat it. Let me make this clear to y'all. The people that y'all see, the victims right here that they're talking about, they're saying, oh, they didn't put these victims in the enterprise letter. This isn't fair. Victim number 5, and they explain why. Then they say, victim number, read that. Top of your screen, I'll blow it up again. Minor victim number 2. Minor. And they black all of that out. That's why Diddy's lawyers are shitting bricks. Because they're saying, hey man, how can they come with this? They didn't give us this information before. They didn't tell us they knew all of this. They didn't put this in the enterprise letter. Know your role and shut your mouth. The government hit them with the smackdown. See the full page right there? Then it says victim number 7. Victim number 6. And then at the bottom of the page, there's a little writing at the bottom of the page. And it says, the government was clearly in a position to include every one of these 4 alleged victims in its February 1st, 2025 enterprise letter had it truly believed the evidence was relevant to its direct case, but it didn't. The reason it failed to do so is not because it was, quote unquote, not prepared to say that the evidence would be a part of its direct case for 1425, but rather because pure gamesmanship. This is Diddy's lawyers writing this. And or its own decision not to follow up with these witnesses. The defense should not be forced to defend. Diddy's lawyers are saying they should not be forced to defend against these late-breaking allegations on the eve of the trial when the government is at fault. For these and additional reasons outlined, Mr. Combs' motion in reply, the court should exclude the evidence. So Diddy's lawyers wanted this evidence thrown out because they said that the government showed gamesmanship by not presenting this early, but coming in with this late to try to destroy this dude at the last minute and hit him with a whamma, bamma, thank you, mama. Smash the like button as y'all come on in. Like I told y'all that the government was going to do. Because they know Diddy. They had to have been told this. When the government sat down and this is my opinion, when they sat down and interviewed Cassie and interviewed all those other victims and all those other witnesses, these people probably all told them Diddy's playbook. So the government had to concoct a plan within the reasonable lines of the law to how they could approach and prosecute Sean Diddy Combs. Right? So what they did was they brought out enough evidence to make the judges understand that this guy can't be free on bail. They withheld the identities of the victims and the witnesses until the last possible moment where they had to give it up. And then for shits and giggles, they said, we're going to bring in all these other victims as well, with all their evidence, with proffer agreements that they've signed to say we won't prosecute them even if they were involved in the situation because they're giving up information on Diddy. When everybody says, oh, well, Diddy's a one-man RICO. Nah, Diddy has co-conspirators. It's in the paperwork. The problem is, it's also in the paperwork that those co-conspirators are snitches. And most of them have taken deals to give testimony against Diddy. And most of these people you will never hear from because they'll be anonymous. Think about that. Think about that. And then some of them you will hear from in the trial. And you'll be surprised to say, damn, they testified against Diddy? Yep. And the feds had them under lock and key the whole time. You're not going to hear about it because Diddy's lawyers can't make that public. Diddy's lawyers cannot come out to the public and say, hey, this person, and this person is testifying against us. Because that will put these people in danger. And that is illegal and against the law. And Diddy's lawyers, could be prosecuted because of that. Think about it. And they know the feds are watching close. Every move. They've been listening to Diddy on them phones. They've been watching everything. Remember, they had those conversations recorded. I told you guys this. But y'all didn't want to listen to me. You going to listen today. Explain that right there, though. And the yellow. Explain that. Why ain't there no outrage about that? Diddy's lawyers out here saying, hey, man, this should be thrown out because we was hit with this at the last minute. Judge says, hey, man, y'all got 4 law firms working for y'all, man. I don't want to hear no excuses. They did it within the rules. Well, see, I try to tell y'all this. If the government had a weak case against Diddy, he would have made bail. There ain't no way they turned on a $50 million bail if they had a weak case. They showed evidence, and you're going to see this evidence in court. Everybody talking about this, that, y'all remember, he's even hit with 3 different charges. Racketeering charge alone, he's facing life. We should have well over 1,000 likes. Y'all smash the like button, too. The racketeering charge alone, he's facing life. Do you know what they charge under the RICO? That Cassie tape that he's trying to get thrown out, that won't be thrown out. They charge that under the RICO. Read it. It's right there on page 4. They charge it under the RICO. That Cassie beat. Everybody talking about that Cassie beating. That's a misdemeanor. That's nothing. No, it's not. They charge it under the RICO. Read it. Along with the arson, along with the beatings, along with all the other things that's going on. And now I told you guys, y'all got to go look at my other video I did this morning. The house is falling down now. The house is falling down. Talk to him, Katie Shayla. Tell him what it is.
Diddy's nightclub incident with J-Lo might be brought up in his criminal trial. And this is just one of many bombshell claims that we are learning that the feds want to use against Diddy in his criminal trial. So buckle up because it's about to get crazy. I'm sure a lot of you guys remember the 1999 nightclub incident that happened where Shine would end up serving 10 years in prison. And Diddy and J-Lo originally went to jail with Shine, but Diddy was eventually acquitted of all charges. Now the feds are wanting to bring this situation all back up in Diddy's criminal trial. They're wanting testimonies, from Diddy's driver, Wardell Fenderson, who testified against him in this trial and alleged that he was bribed to take possession of a weapon that Diddy allegedly had that night. The feds are wanting to introduce this under the 404B rule, which is alleged prior bad acts that can be used that have nothing to do with this criminal trial. Right now, Diddy is trying to fight against this situation from being used in court like many of the others that we are about to go over. Diddy adds in how he was acquitted of the situation, and he's saying that the feds want to use this to show that he allegedly engaged in a pattern of obstruction throughout his life. And they say that the government wants to rely on testimony from a man who we know based off how it's written as Wardell Fenderson, because Wardell Fenderson testified against Diddy in his criminal trial and alleged that Diddy bribed him with a diamond ring and $50,000 to take possession of the weapon.
On the gun possession and bribery charges against Sean Puffy Combs. This afternoon, jurors sent the judge 2 notes, one of which asked for a transcript of a phone message Combs left Wardell Fenderson, once his driver, now the prosecution's star witness. During the trial, Fenderson testified that Combs was armed the night of the shooting at Club New York, and later pressured him to claim ownership of a pistol police found when they pulled over Combs' Lincoln Navigator as it fled the shooting. And I just want to make you feel comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Make your family feel comfortable.
Also, we know the woman who is injured, Natanya Rubin, has claimed since 1999 that Diddy was allegedly the one who fired off a weapon in that nightclub that hit her in the face. The next piece of evidence that the feds want to use in Diddy's criminal trial to show prior bad acts is the situation with Steve Stout, which back in 1999, Diddy was actually arrested and charged with assault in connection to the beating of music executive Steve Stout. Steve Stout claimed that Diddy and 2 of his bodyguards beat him with their fist, a telephone, a champagne bottle, and a chair. And then Diddy allegedly paid Steve Stout $500,000, and he pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of harassment, and he was sentenced to 1 day of anger management classes. Diddy is saying that the feds also shouldn't be able to use this. He said the alleged 1999 assault of the studio executive Steve Stout should be excluded for similar reasons to those supporting the Club New York incident. Keeps this very short and sweet because this one he did plead guilty to a lesser charge of harassment, but the feds are trying to use this as a layout to show prior bad acts, primarily for the RICO charge. Because mind you, the 1999 nightclub incident and this incident with Steve Stout allegedly involved bodyguards at the time. And this is not even how it ends. We also just learned that the feds are wanting to bring in 4 alleged victims to testify against Diddy for prior bad acts of things that they went through allegedly with Diddy, and one of them is a minor. And based off what we know already and what we can read in these court filings, these 4 victims are going to be alleging some type of SA that they went through with Diddy in their testimony. But the fact that we are finally seeing minor victim 2 being brought up in this is actually really shocking, because I was waiting to see if any of this was going to happen. But I also find this very interesting because it says minor victim 2. So that makes me think that there is a minor victim 1 that is not in the prior bad acts section. So I'm curious where the other one will come up. There has been a bombshell of new Diddy court filing.
Now, I try to tell you guys. So the biggest questions that everybody need to be asking, y'all smash the like button. Let's get up over 1,200 likes, y'all. Let's get up over 1,200 likes. The question everybody should be asking now is inside of that paperwork. Everybody should be asking inside of the paperwork. Let me repeat myself again. Inside of the paperwork, everybody, right, should be asking, first of all, is there a minor victim number 1? And secondly, where is it? It's still hidden somewhere. If it is, it's still hidden. It's still hidden in this thing. meaning that we never got the identities of the first 3 victims. See, the government, let me tell y'all something. The government never told us in any writing. I want y'all to think about this. The government never told us in any writing that any of these victims or any other witnesses were minors. They never told us that. Think about this. We only found this out because of Diddy's lawyers. They put it in the writing. They had to because they said they were hit with this one out of the blue. They had to put it in there. So that's the thing. You guys, we ain't even, so everybody talking about, oh, the Fed's case is weak. Y'all don't even know what the Feds had because you don't even know who the victims were. The only one victim we knew was Cassie. That's the only one victim we knew. It's Cassie. There are currently, I believe, multiple more victims that was added onto this case after the original first 3. We don't know who those other victims are. And here's the thing. We may never know who they are, but in trial, we're going to know if how many more minors there are versus this one right here that Diddy's lawyers put in this writing. We're going to learn that in trial. We may never know who they are as far as their names, but we're going to know how many more it is. That's why Diddy's lawyers said in the writing, if the jury is allowed to hear these type of allegations and see this type of evidence, he said that they will hate Diddy. That's pretty much what they said. See, Diddy's team, they just want to stick to the trafficking and coercion, all other stuff. And I don't know why they want to stick to that. They're going to get caught on that too. But y'all got to ask yourselves that question. This is not, the government did not reveal this right now. The government had kept all this quiet. This was going to be a surprise to us in court. This was going to blow the whole court case up and be a surprise to us. But Diddy's lawyers leaked this but first in the court writings in days up into this trial. This trial is going to start in around 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So we wouldn't have heard about this until the trial. But since Diddy's lawyers put this in the writing, we heard about it now. Right? And to the person who said this can't be allowed, this is the case, ain't wrong. It will be allowed. It is a part of the case. Go watch Harvey Weinstein's case. 404B 413 rule. So somewhere in this, you're talking about either sexual assault or trafficking, sir, within those allegations. So, for example, this is what they do, right? Let me give you an example so everybody can understand if you're confused. The government has the victims that they're charging Diddy with crimes against. These are the victims that he's formally being charged against. The government also has a whole list of other victims who've been victimized by Diddy according to their allegations and evidence, who they're going to also bring in court, who they're not charging Diddy with, but they're just bringing them in court with their evidence just to show that this dude have a pattern of this. So just in case the jury may want to think, hey, man, no, he has a pattern of this. We got proof. We got more victims over here that we ain't even charged this dude with, that we're using them to corroborate and their evidence to corroborate what we're saying about these witnesses. That's why Diddy's legal team is exploding, right? That's why he hired all these other people now. He is shitting bricks. And I told you that the government was going to slow walk this dude. They wasn't going to give this to him at first. Why? Because probably talking to Cassie. I told y'all this. My belief is Cassie gave them the whole thing. Let me tell you something. Diddy was rolling with Cassie the whole time. Cassie's going to walk off scot-free because for her testimony, even if she was involved in crimes, and I'm going to tell y'all what's going to happen. Cassie going to get up on that stand. She's going to say, I am a sinner. I have sinned. I have done wrong. I did wrong with Diddy. She's going to admit to all that. She's not going to be prosecuted because she has a proffer, meaning that the information that she gives cannot be used against her in order to prosecute her, because she's giving them information on Diddy. She's giving them the whole thing. If you ask me, Cassie was the one who gave them the whole layout of Diddy's homes. Who else knows the whole layout of Diddy's homes and where everything is at? Cassie. And to Lisa Perman says she's the victim too. She's part of victim, but she also assisted, and they're going to prove that. But she's not going to be prosecuted for that because she's testifying against him. So when you aid and abet and assist, you're called an accomplice. But they're not going to prosecute her because of the circumstances and situations, and because she's going to testify and she's giving them everything. So once she got that payment and put all those allegations out there, and they got out there to the streets, this is how I think they happened. They called Cassie up, brought her in. Cassie broke down and gave him the whole thing. Diddy was dating Cassie. That's true. He really was dating Cassie. So Diddy had his guards down around Cassie. He thought he had full control over Cassie, in my opinion. So what does that mean? Cassie knows where everything is. So if Cassie lives with this man in his house, Cassie knows everything in that house. She knows where the safe's at, where the layout's at, everything. Diddy probably let her know where everything's at. He was slipping. So now all she did was get a whole layout to the feds. She told the feds how he moves, how he operates. Who knows more than that than somebody that's with you all the time? They know everything about you. That's why the feds had this strategy coming at Diddy. Cassie probably told him, nah, you can't go at him like that. You got to go at him like this. He going to be ready for that. That's why when they did the raid, they didn't tell anybody they were doing the raid, because they was worried about people being on the inside. That lets you know right there that people had talked to the feds and told the feds, hey, look, Diddy's powerful. He got people on the inside. You can't tell nobody if you're going to do it. You have to be surgical with this dude. And that's exactly what they've done. They've been surgical with Diddy. That's why they didn't pull out everything first. They pulled out enough to let you know, we got enough to get you right now. But we're not going to let you know everything to where you can, potentially flip witnesses, do all this, do all that. Cassie gave him the whole thing. She gave him herself too. I guarantee you. So when they try to cross-examine her giving things, she's probably going to admit, yes, I did this, yes, I did that, but I was this, I was that, and I have proof. So when you see Cassie get on the stand, she's going to take her blame and her responsibility, right? But she's also going to give up the whole thing. She's going to give up the entire situation, meaning that she knew where everything was, how everything operated. How do you think how feds know how to attack a man? Through his woman. Your woman know your weaknesses, your strengths. Your woman know how you move. You're a woman you with on a daily basis, every single day. That's the people who know the most about you. Those are the people who know how you move. Those are the people who know the best about you. Cassie was with this man for 8 years, or however many years she was with him. So she knew everything about how Diddy moved, how he operated. She probably told the feds everything. They concocted a plan on how they was going to take him down, and they slow walked this dude. They looked at his history, how he beat certain cases, how he got certain cases played down. And they said, nah, we ain't losing like that. Use your brains. Cassie lined the whole thing up with the feds to let them know everything about this dude. And she will not get prosecuted because she has probably given a proffer agreement. They said that in the writing. They have multiple witnesses that brought evidence that have signed proffers that will not be prosecuted. That's why I told y'all, most of them people are going to be people that work with Diddy. Y'all going to see this in court. All the people that was working with Diddy, man, they all snitched on this dude. All gave up information. All gave up evidence. They probably gave up the whole thing. So that's how the feds know how to attack Diddy. They know how to come. They know how to get him at his weakness. Everybody tell them, oh, they ain't got nothing. They got everything. They got everything. The feds got shit. They've already admitted in the paperwork. They ain't even put out. We ain't even charging them with all that. We got enough right here. You guys are going to see in court when they start laying this shit out. All this fake, they ain't got no evidence. Talk that's out the window. Diddy's lawyers can lie and put out any narrative they want to the public. That don't mean shit when you get in the court of law. Period. So when you look at this stuff, man, like I said before, you're talking about a major, major situation. And then here's the thing. You don't know who else is going to get caught up in this. You don't know who else is going to get, their names are going to get mentioned from being on videotapes. They're going to show these videos in the trial. Freak-offs. What other celebrities were involved? Who was there? Their names are going to get mentioned when they say, hey, point, who is this? Who was that? Who was that? Maybe not for crimes, but for being there. That's going to destroy their lives, ruin their reputations, maybe ruin their marriages. Why do you think everybody's quiet? Everybody's quiet. The feds knew how to approach this case. That's why they did it the way they did it. And all these niggas running around here talking about Diddy's innocent, they don't know the damn thing they're talking about. They're going to get truly embarrassed, and it's going to be bad for them because they're going to lose a lot of support, because when the truth comes out, which is the yellow lines right there on y'all's page, how are they going to defend that? What are they going to do? They're going to try to confuse y'all attention to say, oh, what about the white man? Nah, what about this? They always want to talk about what about the white man and talk about, oh, we leave us alone, let us be, but you don't even want to straighten up your own house. You don't want the white man going in your business, but you don't want to clean up your own house. Then you want to make excuses about, oh, well, they ain't going after the white man like this to let the black man walk away on this type of shit. No dice. They all got to go. They all got to go. And then if you're so concerned about the white man, why you haven't dedicated your channel to making video content about all these dudes out here violating? Make it make sense. I'm just saying. It don't matter what color you are. You doing this type of shit, and I do videos on this on my other channel all the time to show y'all. These people out here in this world is crazy as hell. This world we live in, bro, we live in a dirty world, bro. Do y'all see some of the stuff that goes on a daily basis? All I gotta do is go down my Twitter timeline, go down my Instagram timeline. You seeing people get the hell beat out of them. Dudes beating up girls, girls beating up dudes. All kind of just disgraceful stuff, man. This is a horrific, dirty world we live in. All this type of stuff. The youth killing their parents and stuff like that. What type of time is this world on? I'm just telling y'all what it is. Everybody thought Tony Busby was capping when he said he was working with the feds. He wasn't capping. He said he was working with the feds. He said that from the very beginning. When he came out talking about he had unders that was making allegations against Diddy, he said that. Y'all didn't want to listen to him. Now, what happens if one of them that's linked to him came up in this trial and we don't even know it? See? We don't know where the feds is going up with this. We don't know who else they're investigating. We don't know, because they've been going after everybody, bro. They've been hitting left and right. You never know who's next. The feds been hitting people left and right. Boom, 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 boom. Straight like that. Remember, everybody said Courtney Burgess was this liar and he didn't have any information. He was lying. What if he wasn't lying? What if he was telling the truth? What if he did get videos confiscated that showed people on it that the feds have, that they're going to present as evidence in court? What if one of these people that's on your screen is one of those people? Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about that. I'm just saying. Think about it. Everybody said, oh, he lying. He lying when he said that there was minors and evidence. He lying. Well, apparently, there are some in this paperwork here. We're going to find out who's really lying come March the 12th, 2025. Oh, yeah. It's about to get ugly. Wait for it now. Wait for it. We about to see. Right? I'm telling y'all what it is. But, again, the feds knew what they was doing. They calculated this. And they put it right within the rules and walked it right on time. And I tell you guys, to the core of me, I believe that Cassie and all the other people who are victims, who had all this time around Diddy, and who actually participated, they gave it up. Everybody keeps saying, why is it a one-man Fed case? Because when the feds come in and talk to you and show you all the evidence they got, man, they're going to tell you to get down and lay down. Then people like, get down. I'm going to get down. And they start testifying. They put you in that room. They show you a little bit of evidence they got. Tell you how they're going to stick you up, give you 15 to 20. And then say, hey, look, we'll let you walk away right now. You give us the whole thing. They giving you how the money was moved, allegedly, all this stuff. I'm telling y'all finna see. All of these different things, y'all finna see. When everybody said, oh, where's all the... They told y'all in the paperwork who the co-conspirators were. They didn't tell you the names. They told you who they were. Diddy's employees, staff, security. They told y'all this. It's in the paperwork. People don't read. They say, oh, why is Diddy the only one arrested? Duh, everybody's snitching. That's easy. And some of them people was probably arrested, put on house arrest, and you didn't even know about it. That was kept under wraps to make sure that they kept the secrecy of these witnesses until the case started. And then when the case starts and you find out that, damn, this person was arrested, they was picked up, we didn't even know that. The media didn't talk about this. Nah, the feds knew what they did. The feds slow walked this thing. They did this thing knowing the type of beast they was dealing with. You're fit to find out during court how the feds walked this whole thing down. You finna find out in court. And when all this evidence that the whole world haven't seen is presented to the whole world, everybody gonna be shocked. Like, damn. And the only person that sat here and was telling y'all this consistently was me. Because I said, ain't no way in the world the feds gonna pull this dude, this type of nigga up on this case, and they not. So I already knew. I said, damn, Cassie gave him the whole thing. They gonna walk this man down. Slow walk his ass down. And they gonna leak, drip, 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 drip. And keep giving them things to think about all the way up to the trial. Then boom, hit him with a sack of bricks right before you ready to go. So he panicked, hiring new lawyers, paying all this money just to get his ass locked up even more. Y'all should have known as soon as Anthony Rico, the black lawyer, got up and quit, y'all should have known it was over with. There ain't nothing else to talk about. What else we talking about? We ain't got nothing else to talk about. It's over with. It's a wrap. BET Rap City. Nothing else to talk about. But Cass didn't want to listen. They go along, get along. People afraid to stand on business. It's sad. Watch how many people are brave after this case. And I'm talking about people on YouTube. They're going to be, yeah, man, I knew it, man. Them niggas was quiet this whole time. They were scared. And some of them, they ain't going to say nothing. They're going to ignore it. Act like it never happened. It's sad. Try to deflect and talk about the white man, all this other stuff. Nah, let's talk about this man. Let's clean up the shit. And let me tell you something. You can't never talk about nobody else's house or talk about nobody else coming in your house if you ain't got your shit straight. We got to get our house in order. Period. You can't have this type of scumbag representing us. These are facts. Again, just food for thought. Y'all niggas do the dishes. Y'all niggas do the dishes. Salute to everybody tapping in. Y'all know what it is, man. Let's get this thing over 2,000-3,000 likes, man. And salute to the people who donate to the stream, man. Y'all hit the Cash App, PayPal link pinned at the top. Salute to you. I appreciate all y'all that show love and support it. Y'all know what it is, man. I'll see y'all later on, man. And make sure y'all check out the next video, because I did that video. You guys did not see that video on my other channel. I did. That video on my other channel, I'm going to put a link to it in the comments right now. They saying that the feds, they saying that the SWAT team was called to that boy, not Carmelo Anthony, but the other dude, Austin Metcalf, the dude who lost his life. They're saying that the SWAT was called to his home of a parent. What you call it? I'm gonna put that in the chat now. I did that video on my other channel, but a lot of you guys did not see that. Why? Because y'all not subscribed to my other channel. These dudes out here talking, they ain't even subscribed to the other channel. So how the hell you know what's going on if you ain't subscribed to the other channel? If you ain't subscribed to my other channel, you ain't seeing that news. How the hell do you know what? Oh man, Ticket, you ain't talking about this. You ain't talking about that. Yes, I am talking about it. I got multiple channels, dog. My other channel almost got 100,000 subscribers. A lot of y'all not over there, right? I'm gonna put it right here. Hold on. Put it right here. Just so y'all can see it. And so it ain't no excuses. Go over there and y'all can watch that video right now and subscribe to my other channel. Make sure y'all get that update. That way it's no excuses. There it go right there. It's in the comment section. Y'all see it. It's pinned at the top of the chat. There it go right there. Now go watch that video. That's on my other channel. It's right there. All you gotta do is click that link. It's in the chat. It'll go subscribe to my other channel. It's all them videos on my other channel. These people ain't even seen it. We cover all that stuff. All of it. We ain't ducking no smoke. So y'all let me know what y'all think, man. And make sure y'all let me know in the comment section if you guys watch that video and y'all subscribe to my other channel. Right? Let me know what y'all feel, man. Peace. All right, you guys. So we appreciate everybody that popped in, supported this video. Make sure that you guys shop our merch. We got that new A-Weapons merchandise right there below this video. All you got to do is look below. The links will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well to get the merch, to donate, support the channel, and subscribe to our podcast show. You'll see all those links pinned at the top of the comment section of this video. And we appreciate everybody that supports this channel and our networks. Also, that straight drop weight loss formula. Go to the website. You guys will see that. A link for that will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well. Go right there for all of your weight loss needs. Straight drop weight loss formula. We have a lot of testimonials on the website. You can go to www.str-8-drop.com and get you some of the weight loss formula today. Take your weight loss serious. Get in the gym, work out, exercise, and do what you got to do to stay on point. We appreciate everybody that's been locked into this video. Again, all the links are pinned at the top of the comment section below. Salute to all of y'all. And again, we appreciate everybody who support what we doing over here.